Our efforts for peace have prevailed, and we have emerged victorious. Let us forever remember this day for its greatness. Glory to all who fought for this moment! We did it!
Part 22. The ones who pray. Recognize the beauty and goodness of truth. Free yourself from corruption, hatred, and evil. Here on the level sand, between the sea and land, what shall I build or write against the fall of night? Tell me of runes to grave that hold the bursting wave, of bastions to design for longer date than mine. Alfred Hausman.
It will help relieve your pain. Worry not. It's not made from the grapes on my head.
What makes you think that if they were from the grapes on your head, I wouldn't take it? The war may have ended, but its scars remain in this place. The Hall of Truth, once the Palace of Knowledge, now stands in ruins. 210 examines the injured man's face closely, making sure his pain is eased. Then he stands and watches as more people are brought through the gate.
Hang in there, 29.
888 makes her way into the hall, carrying an incapacitated believer on her back. She carefully lowers the person to the floor. Her own arms are wounded from the attack, but fortunately they're not fatal. Since the integers awakened, this has been the only thing they've been doing.
Are there any other injured that have not been found yet?
I've scouted the island. Every remaining member should be here.
So you have.
He sighs, the ramifications of the situation weighing down on them.
It means the members not here have joined Manus Vindicte.
Or died. The hall is dead silent. Just a few hours ago it was alive with debates, ideas, and passion. But now one half of the hall is gone, its seats buried under the shattered dome and crumbling walls.
Is Six still in a coma, Miss Marta?
Coma? My boy. The blind woman nods, concern etched on her face. The banshee doesn't say anything else. She needs to clean out her own wounds. The last few hours have been a whirlwind. Their faith has crumbled, the humans have invaded their island, and Manus Vindicte has turned them against each other. But now, everything is gone. Enemies, friends, and even the truth. All that's left are the moans and groans that fill the hall. In the midst of the hushed void, some begin to pray.
To you, O the alone infinite, the non-subsistent, the ineffable, I call. Grant me inspiration of nature. Guide my soul with truth.
These are the words of both sorrow and hope. Words of contemplation and honor for the dead. A brief respite where they can find solace in ease or pain.
Give me power of enlightenment. Tear off from the web of ignorance.
More people join in. Their prayers reverberate through the hall.
Redeem me from the evil, hatred, and what throttles me down. Break through the ground of bad, corruption's chain, the carapace of darkness, the living death, sensation's corpse, the tomb I carry. Learn the beauty of truth, the balance and limitations of all.
Enough!
It's 29, the injured believer just carried in by 888. A leg is missing, but he manages to get up and sit down against the wall.
Why are you still praying? The truth is gone!
I mean, he do get a point.
Who are we praying to? Who will answer us?
His outburst falters, turning into a bitter sob.
For generations, we have searched for purpose and meaning. But now that the truth is lost, what is left for us to live for?
Well, yourself. You don't have to live for the truth, but yeah, sure. When people lose their faith, they believe there's no way out of things.
No, the truth is still there.
A crisp voice echoes through the hall. 37 arrives panting at the door, accompanied by members of the Timekeeper's team.
I passed a Perron's test and it showed me the answer. It will free us from the Wheel of Birth once and for all. I just need some time to decode it.
She feels their stares weigh heavily on her. the wounded, the desperate, those who have lost their faith and their souls in the last few hours. The custodian walks up to her, still composed and steady.
We will do our best to help, but how much time do you need?
A crucial question. The girl averts her eyes. Her confidence has waned since the last time she answered this question.
I have someone in mind that can help us decode faster.
Elsewhere in this world, some people are also making the same efforts at all costs. They too are studying the immunity of the storm.
But I need your approval before I ask them for help.
This will require some finesse. What's about to be asked might rattle the founding principles of their belief
May
system.
I share the truth with the others, 37?
The experiments on the side effects of the ritual are ongoing. The list of conditions they've encountered stretches down the pages like a long winding snake.
The side effects are completely random. Among the current samples, the probability of no side effects occurring is 0.52%.
Great!
And of the 81 recorded side effects, 39 of them will cause irreversible damage to the biological body. 24 will permanently alter the composition of the caster's body functioning. And 18 minor effects will cause only minor, superficial injuries that do not affect daily functioning. Laplace's archives has enough rituals to protect casters from the minor effects, but the other two categories are highly lethal.
The list was made at the cost of lives, and she meticulously analyzes each item as if taking apart an intricate machine.
After 72 experiments, the diversity of side effects has decreased significantly. It is unclear if this is due to repeated testing on a single subject or due to a limited range of possible side effects.
When the curse runs out of ideas. She can't be all that creative, you know.
More than 90% of these effects are related to concepts such as dirt and dust. Is it because of the origins of this ritual's power?
She stops briefly, scanning through the list again.
The number of recorded side effects is 86, not 81. When did I write these 5 down?
Well, it's hard to pinpoint if you've been the test subject repeatedly. A knock at the door interrupts her thoughts. Simone walks in.
Madam Lucy, Zeno's plan was a success. With the help of Team Timekeeper, the leader of Manus Vindictae was teleported to a deserted military base and targeted with a thermobaric weapon.
Yeah, and again, a part of that energy went out of that place. You did nothing, I'm telling you.
It was a direct hit with no signs of life detected. The momentous event was captured on camera in the observation room.
The director nods in approval. It is good news, but she can't devote much of her processing power to expressing joy while she's focused on research.
A tremendous victory. Please extend my congratulations to the Admiral for this remarkable feat.
Also, you have 2 call requests. One is from the Timekeeper, which Laplace received shortly after the battle with Manus Vindictae. She is requesting remote assistance to help the Apiron decode a numerical code related to the storm immunity.
This information demands attention. The director's head snaps up.
Put her through immediately.
Simone nods, but her shoulders remain tense. There's more.
And the other call?
It's Campania, the Viennese arcanist who helped investigate Marcus in acquiring the ritual.
A hint of hesitation appears in her eyes.
We have updated her the progress of the study and the potential side effects of the incantation, but she insists on knowing the right pronunciation.
Why? Also, how are they supposed to pronounce it for her without cursing themselves? It's not that they're not telling her only for her safety. It's also because the person who's going to pass that information is probably going to die. Guide to constructing communication waves under special circumstances. Alright everyone, this is X, here to instruct you all on how to set up a usable radio communication network under the influence of the storm. Firstly, radio transmission is like a Goldberg machine, a convoluted process, even though it's point to point, it's not just a straight line. The medium of transmission can also change along the way, and it's not limited to radio waves. With a little imagination and well-calculated paths, information can be transmitted from any point to any other, and multiple complex paths can prevent information from being hijacked during transmission to the storm. The theory involved can be found in my earlier paper, How to Send Transoceanic Mail with Pigeons and Catapults. Call me when someone gets it right, I'm on my way to being busy. Alright, part 23, the Rosetta Stone. This may be the world's first trilingual dictionary.
No, we are not aware of that. 37 and I had just entered the cave when the investigator sent back the ritual.
The transmission is weakening. Miss Radio masters all her strength, struggling to hold onto the fleeting signal in the air.
I see. Thank you for the thorough explanation, Madam Lucy. I'll make sure to inform the members of Apeiron.
Is it really possible to remember all those numbers and technical details?
If possible. Could you kindly explain this to them again after we set up the communication device?
The lab has never been busier since the date was built. The scattered files are neatly gathered, and more integers have come to help sort through the years of documents. Miss Radio is placed next to the IDM with a sense of reverence. The computer screen lights up. A familiar voice comes out of the speakers.
The next thing's the acoustic components. Totally understandable if you don't have any on hand. Regulus, can you help me find some...
What are you saying, mate? Of course, this great disc jockey would have the acoustic components. I'll have you know, I made friends with the dolphins as soon as I had the chance, hoping they'd retrieve some of the radio components from Apple II.
I made friends with the dolphins because that's the normalest thing I could do.
And guess what? They actually found some!
She attaches the acoustic component onto the IDM, beaming with excitement.
Hello? Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that screech of the microphone was unnecessary. For realistic purposes, I mean my poor ears. The screeching feedback forces everyone to cover their ears. Well, I can't cover them more. I have the headphones on.
Perfect. You finally have a communicator equipped with a speaker. Before, there were too many ears for one tiny radio. Ah!
What now? Another attack?
Not quite. That's the sound of our colleague, Medicine Pocket. Hard at work.
Finally, a real communicator for Team Timekeeper. X gets up, skirts around Medicine Pocket's mess on the floor, and casually makes himself a cappuccino.
How goes it on your end, Vertin? The storm is only 8 hours away. Has the immunity zone on the island stopped shrinking?
I think so. No one in the Hall of Apeiron is affected by the storm syndrome so far. The immunity zone seems stable for now. Manus Vindictae and the humans have left. There should be no further destruction on the island.
So the decay of the immunity zone is not linear. It seems to be influenced by the islanders' mindset toward the truth, and it eventually reaches a stopping point.
He puts down the cup and thinks about everything he heard from the call.
Could it be that the ritual on this island, rooted in the power of faith and belief, serves to amplify only the radius of the storm immunity? Fascinating.
That first look, while explaining, felt like he didn't find any of this fascinating.
That can wait, Researcher X.
Ulrich, impatient as ever, interrupts his musings with a more important concern. There are still pressing matters to discuss with the Timekeeper through the device.
There's one thing I'd like to confirm, Timekeeper. About the question Miss 37 asked in the cave. How can we escape the darkness of the phenomenal world and be freed from the emanation forever? To my understanding, that is almost the same as asking how we can be immune to the storm.
Yes. And 37 also said the transcendental truth was beyond the limits of her mortal flesh. A Piran answered her with an eerie sound, one that could drive anyone mad just by hearing it. It was then that the Scroll 6 gave her unfurled and transcribed the sound into a string of numbers, providing us with the code.
Yes, that's the key to our problem. We both received a solution to the same question simultaneously. Immunity against the storm. This could be our Rosetta Stone, Timekeeper. We found our own Rosetta Stone!
His voice rises in excitement as he becomes fully immersed in his thoughts. Meanwhile, his listener's mind is starting to wander with a big question mark in the air.
Rosetta Stone.
Allow me to explain.
The director interjects with a well-timed explanation.
The Rosetta Stone is a stone tablet inscribed with a decree in 3 different languages: hieroglyphs, Demotic, and Ancient Greek. Hieroglyphs were the sacred writing for the divine, while Demotic script was known as the language of the people. Both scripts were ancient Egyptian, lost to time when the tablet was discovered. However, because scholars were still able to read Ancient Greek, and through comparing the 3 inscriptions that all said the same thing, they were finally able to understand the hieroglyphs. And now, we too have our own set of inscriptions to decode.
So they're thinking that perhaps the curse, everything that people hear after pronouncing the curse, might be saying the same thing that perhaps 37 heard in the cave and then transcribed to numbers. Well, if it helps, it helps. I just want this to work at this point.
The first is similar to hieroglyphs, as the truth Miss 37 heard in the cave is completely unintelligible and can drive people insane just by listening to it.
Yep.
The second is like Demotic script, a ritual we obtain from arcana that can place a curse upon those who read it aloud. It cannot be handled by ordinary people. Finally, the numerical code you shared with us is like the readable Ancient Greek, without any divine powers, but crucial in deciphering the other 2 inscriptions.
How intriguing!
Of course you'd like that. 37's voice chimed in over the line, clearly excited by the analogy.
That is to say, if we work together and combine our research, we may unlock even deeper knowledge that only belongs to the divine?
Exactly. We're looking for the same answer to the same question, like how the same decree is inscribed onto the tablet in different forms. And just like the inscriptions on the tablet, we have 3 versions of the ritual. If we can delve into the essence of the ritual and master its inner workings, we may eventually transcribe it into a side-effect-free ritual that can be used by everyone.
Yes, it should work. Because the nature of the universe flows in all things alike.
I'm glad you think so, Miss 37.
The girl on the other end of the phone is equally ecstatic. There's no question that they're in sync on this incredible idea. The ferrofluid happily swirls around in its fishbowl. Regrettably, his boss is a practical thinker.
Your hypothesis is based on too many assumptions, Ulrich. It requires further refinement and confirmation. We now have valid incantations. We should continue in this direction.
Her words are like a bucket of ice water dumped over their heads. As always, the robot steers them to a more practical path.
You mentioned the word transcribe, just like the Timekeeper did. It holds the answer to improving the ritual.
You mean?
The scroll you mentioned that can bridge the gap between you and the Supreme Existence during communion. It is the scroll that transcribed the eerie sound and saved 37 from the lethal side effects. Does this mean it could potentially lessen the negative effects of the immunity incantation?
Everyone in the lab realizes it at once. Reducing the side effects is faster than trying to come up with a perfect side effect-free incantation from scratch. Now, the solution is right in front of them, the scroll that can solve Arcanum with Arcanum.
Wait, Madam Lucy. Let me take it from here.
Yeah, but can they answer? I mean, they can test it, but they cannot... I guess without testing it, they could answer this question if 6 was still awake.
We would like to borrow this scroll for research. If you lend us this scroll, we will make significant advancements on the research, and we promise to provide every assistance you require in the future.
The ferrofluid flinches into a shape of a droplet of sweat. It was too late to stop her. The atmosphere on the other end of the call changes dramatically.
Lend you the scroll?
The custodian leaps up from her corner in disbelief.
Are you asking us to give the legacy of Epiron, our most cherished possession, to you? A scientific research organization that serves humans?
The lab falls silent, reflecting the seriousness of the request. For a school of thought that has always kept its knowledge hidden, this is a major threat to its core beliefs and sacred vows. Honey, there's nothing left to save, to hide. There is nothing. So put your ego down, because this might actually help you too. But the silence is broken again by that cheery voice. The voice that always questions and doubts.
Why not?
Yeah, it's for greater purpose here.
We are seekers of truth, are we not?
Oof. It's getting harder and harder. Ooh. Part 24. The Cycle of History. Oh my goodness, no. Breeze mode, please. By the time people realize its true nature, it has already moved.
Heed my words, 37. That scroll is a sacred relic passed down from the wise sages of Epiron, safeguarded by the Sixes, and entrusted only to believers who brave Epiron's test. It has the power of harmonization and reconciliation. You may keep it until you fully grasped the secrets shared with you by Epiron. But you will not share it with some organization affiliated with humans, and certainly do not allow them to study it.
Listen, I know you don't know them. All you know is what you've heard about them through their actions, through the years, through results of their experiments you've heard about also through the years. But really, what is there to protect? There is nothing, girl. Nothing. You can barely save yourselves from the storms when it comes, because the island no longer can protect you. The inevitable disagreement is finally upon them. 888 grabs 37 by the arm and drags her out of the lab.
Why? Sharing the scroll is sharing wisdom and knowledge with others. Like what we have done through our doctrinal meetings and receiving visitors from the outside world. It is for the sake of spreading the light of truth. Is it not? Human researchers. They have also discovered many brilliant theorems. Before the emanation cut us off, we had these types of communications with the outside world. It was fun, unlike what came after. I'm sure by sharing this scroll, the code from Epiron will be deciphered. I must prove that the light of truth still glimmers.
She stands her ground. She's right. With her faith shattered, people need something new to keep them going. And this time, her suggestion makes sense in a practical way, a quality often missing from her previous ideas. With the island no longer shielding them, the school must find another way to survive the emanation. In their moment of weakness, they need a powerful ally more than ever. Yeah, because after the storm comes, there will be nothing left on the island. You'll all be dead, so who's going to protect that precious scroll of yours? It doesn't matter.
But how can you be sure the scroll will only be used for researching the ritual?
You can't. But the chances of you dying are bigger than their actually using it for a bad reason.
How can you ensure that the humans won't exploit it to create weapons of destruction?
The custodian looks up at the fractured dome. The speckled daylight illuminates her cool complexion.
Before joining the School of Epiron, my people and I had wandered the world for ages. Our long lives made it difficult for us to truly fit in with the world. Daughter of truth, I implore you to hear the words of this old soul. Humans have indeed achieved incredible feats, and their enlightenment has even touched my soul. But unfortunately, most humans do not have an inherent respect for knowledge or its boundaries. They only chase after power blindly. I have experienced it firsthand. I tried to guide and persuade them, but ultimately I failed. That is why I am here now. What you are deciding to share is not only knowledge, but it is a ritual. A piece of power. A ritual designed for harmonization, created for the devout believers, and created for the sages seeking the truth. Yet, on the other hand, it can also be used for unspeakable horrors, such as silencers on guns, suppressors on rifles, or even on nuclear bombs.
It won't. 888. I won't let this happen.
You can't promise anything, Miss Vertin. You're too young, too inexperienced to comprehend the dark nature of history.
A valid and powerful observation. The hall itself ravaged by war now stands as a testament to the Banshee's claim. Even 37 is speechless.
But it's the truth we're talking about. What could possibly outweigh the truth?
An unexpected voice speaks up. To everyone's surprise, the rhetorician does not raise any objections this time.
If all it takes is lending someone a scroll to unlock unspeakable secrets, why not do it?
I too am surprised about this. See, I told you he was a good one. I believed in him from the very beginning, but y'all were out there hating the boy because he was a trouble steerer.
Haven't the failures of the past 4 years proven that a stagnant mindset does not bring forth the light of truth? As individuals devoted to critical thinking, should the pursuit of truth not be our primary goal in life? My brothers and sisters, do not let hatred stop you, and don't let the dust of the phenomenal world blind you.
210!
Oh my goodness, she too is surprised. He waves his hand and gets up from his seat.
And remember, it was 37 who passed the test and earned the scroll. It is her rightful responsibility to handle this situation.
He's getting redeemed! He looks elsewhere, his demeanor suggesting a lack of interest rather than genuine support for the argument.
Otherwise, what other choice do we have?
He shrugs and walks out of the hall. Behind him, the Star of Hermes clenches a fist with resolve. To the murmuring, doubting crowd, she speaks again loud and clear.
I have made up my mind. I will share the scroll with Laplace. We will decipher the code together. The truth is the truth. It should not be swayed by anything else. Please, everyone, cast your pebble if you agree with me. If 6 were here, he too would have called for a vote.
Some of them decide to leave the hall instead, but most stay and use the pebbles in their hands to speak for them. Her victory arrives with a gentle sigh from the corner. War and smoke have long left this place. An area has been cleared for takeoff.
Miss Lilia, are you certain about this?
Absolutely. See the nice weather today? Much better than the day we landed. No wind, no cloud, the clear sky, and that giant moon.
Sitting tight on her SU-01B, she gives a quick back to the scroll secured on her belt. This is the essence of appearance goodwill in their newfound alliance with Laplace.
Can't find a better day to deliver the package. It's just to the headquarters, not even going outside of Europe. 3 hours is more than enough. I'm done being stuck on this suffocating island. Nobody can stop me from taking this flight.
The headquarters are at least 768 nautical miles away, and you have no protection during the long flight. It's dangerous.
Oh, girl, please, you're wasting time. Of course it's dangerous. Every single move is dangerous right now.
And we have only 7 hours until the storm.
Dangerous? Maybe. But this is an exhilarating flight in the storm, Saneto. What better chance than now to push Zeno into updating their flying manual?
She takes a few long gulps from her canteen and warms up her broomstick, brimming with anticipation as if she were going to a carnival.
Besides, what's wrong with a bit of oil painting on me? Should be a nice badge of honor.
No, I don't want anything to happen to you.
Mate, that's quite a distance. Just be sure not to go toppling into the Mediterranean Sea.
Red 38 is no way an apple the second.
Oh. She soars higher and higher until Regulus shrinks to a tiny red dot on the beach. From the corner of her eye, she notices shadows slowly creeping toward her.
Uh-oh. Manus Alitius? We didn't kill them all off? I don't have time for you, little stingray rats.
The Alitiaus trail close behind her.
Still got your speed, huh? I guess the death of your boss didn't faze you much. Oh.
A swollen blimp comes into view, filled with a dark substance and throbbing like a beating heart. The creature's soft, tentacle-like turrets slowly rise and lock onto Lilia.
Manus aircraft? Worth a fight. Haha! Bring it on! Your downfall will be an explosive orchestra over the waters.
Okay, I wonder if this is going to be the final boss, because usually an enemy written with red letters is a boss fight. Let's see. I'll be right back. Okay, done. To safely cast the community ritual, 2 conditions must be met. Have the power to wield it.
Yes, Miss Tider has derived the formula and my team has finished designing the prototype converter.
A Tida. I kept saying Tita.
Now, we just need the bigwigs upstairs to approve the experiment application. This is an unprecedented chance to rob the storm of its energy. I wouldn't miss this for anything.
And 2, minimize the side effects.
The Scroll of Aperon has shown great potential in protecting casters from the ritual. It is expected to outperform the Coleman protection rituals. The sheer variety of side effects is concerning, but we already have a list of 122 curses and their effects. Once the scroll arrives, we will test and record its reactions to each of the effects. This should speed up our analysis considerably.
But this isn't enough.
How can we get humans to make use of this ritual?
He stands up and paces around the cluttered room.
Ideally, the incantation is made into a tool like the Manus mask or Laplace's incantation soft disk. However, this would require a thorough analysis and mastery of the ritual. Manus Vindicte could create the mask because Arcana is just that excellent of a caster. But we don't have that kind of excellence all the time. That's why I came up with a clever alternative, to let everyone be a caster instead. The problem is, humans can't cast it all to begin with. Ugh.
Can they cast when they have arcane objects? Logic is failing to produce the desired breakthrough. Enigma sits back down at the table, holding his head in despair.
Is there nothing else we can do?
So, this is the plan of the imaginary numbers. You want to use the waves of Numa and the reconciliation of the scroll to allow everyone to recite the storm immunity ritual?
37 ponders with great interest, as if it were just another game. The collaboration with Laplace is going well. They have just shared all their information on the subject.
Yes. What do you think, 37?
An ugly plan it is. There is no grace or beauty in this approach. It is purely driven by practicality and uses clever tactics to make things fit. How typical of imaginary numbers.
What? It sounds pretty cool to me. Taking advantage of the storm? It's about time we plundered it instead.
It really looks like we should throw this plan into the sea.
37 insists, suddenly shifting her seat away from Regulus.
You're not trying to comprehend the ritual, Vertin, but scrambling to make use of it before the emanation arrives.
Isn't making use of it enough for our purposes?
No, the theory is incomplete. You will be hindered by impossible obstacles in no time. Mister, Could you show me the incantation? I want to see it too.
She glances at the device, hoping for an answer, but the other end of the call has been silent for a while.
Laplace is looking for a safe method to deliver the incantation. Given the incidents before, some time is required for the application procedure. Once received, please do not read it out by any means. The side effects are extremely deadly.
The chief assistant explains to her reassuringly. Finally, someone speaks again.
Apologies. We took some time to test the delivery methods. For your safety, only the text of the incantation will be delivered. The exact pronunciation will be sent to the timekeeper later.
Thanks, mate.
Since the island has no visual communication, we will send the incantation letter by letter through a Chladni plate, a technique that converts simple patterns to sound waves. Enough with the mumbo-jumbo! There's no time for details.
Annoyed, he interrupts his rumbling and gets straight to the point.
Anyway, timekeeper, we'll need the help of that lady. Miss Radio, right?
Huh?
Flattered, the blue flower on Mrs. Radio perks up. No ordinary signal could reach this island. Since their arrival, she's been diligently managing their communications. As a result, she was somewhat reduced to being just a radio.
Yes. Somebody please find her a metal square plate, fix it on a sturdy base, and pour sand on it.
Some regulars get to work immediately. Fortunately, there's no shortage of metals and sand on the island. A makeshift receiving station is quickly built.
Now, a special recording will be sent to you. Please stay by the edge of the plate, embrace the sound, and...
I assume you mean vibrate?
No, that's just rude. But, yes, exactly.
He stammers.
If all goes well, the vibrations will move the sand and visualize the text in a pattern. We have 12 recordings ready, each representing a letter in the incantation. We'll play the first one when you're ready.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
She trembles with excitement, ready to give her all for this important task. As she grooves with the signal, a pattern begins to form on the plate.
First one's done, Mr. Ulrich.
All right, 11 to go.
The transmission continues as planned, each letter falling into place like pieces of a puzzle, until finally the last letter is recorded on the page.
This incantation.
The sight is hard to believe. How can this be?
What? Are you reading it in your head? Oh, don't tell me even thinking about it can trigger the curse.
No. It's just, I can read this language.
What? Girl, how? How can you read this? The language is not unfamiliar. The incantation for unlocking the suitcase is inscribed in the same tongue. Oh. Who gave her a suitcase? Her parents? The questions are, who taught this and when? Was it on the eve of the new millennium when everything was a blank? Was it mother? A myriad of thoughts flood the mind.
37. I think I know what it says. It means the first circle.
Emergency Harmonizer Analysis Task Notification. Special notification. We have received a harmonizer capable of neutralizing the storm immunity spell, which has been proven effective through Miss Lucy's testing. The contents of the harmonizer have been sent to each department in the form of a photograph with this message. Please begin the analysis for mass replication immediately upon receipt. I'll call back to the people from John Titus Place. Y'all keep busy. Interesting. So, if her suitcase has the same language on it for, I'm guessing for it to open, the inscription on the suitcase must be for it to open, then I'm guessing that not every usage of this language is necessarily evil. Like, for example, Latin, alright? There are many times people use, in movies specifically, they use Latin when it comes to demons to call upon them or to exorcise them. Or whatnot, which has led many people who perhaps are not taught the language at school or haven't looked into it to believe that perhaps Latin is pretty much the language of the devil, alright? So just like that, I'm guessing that there is a full language that is not inherently magical, but that you can create spells from by using specific words in a certain way. Now, we all know that there's something going on about the circle, alright? So I'm guessing they've created some spells there, like if this is an organization bigger than what we thought it was, like bigger than Theophil and what he'd started, bigger than Manus even. Perhaps they created those spells for some reasons and then the Manus took them and blah 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 blah. But yeah, because Vertin has probably been using these words for open her suitcase, I'm guessing that it is a separate language and that it's not just bad. You can create good things out of it as well. And there is no magic in the language in itself, it's people creating magic with it. I'm hoping I'm making sense. But anyway, let's go to part 25, the first circle. Thus, the proof is complete. The researchers on the receiving end quickly grasp the message.
The first circle. That's what the incantation says?
Not gonna lie, I feel a little stupid because it makes sense. Like circolo sounds like circle, and uno it could be addressed to uno or un in French, you know, that is number one. But yeah, my mind just thought, okay, let's not think about it, let the game explain what it means. But yeah, it makes sense. He suddenly remembers a detail that has eluded him all along.
That's it. The investigator in Vienna reported a similar thing. An ancient miracle, a circle of salvation. Arcana even drew a circle in the air while saying it. She did it so nonchalantly, as if it were a meaningless gesture.
This game is slowly but surely teaching us to be afraid of shapes.
We didn't think much of it at the time. Once we confirmed that it did not affect the casting of the incantation, we forgot about it and moved on.
But then again, I think I mentioned it at the previous part, either of this video or during Kakania's story and his old story part. In the past, when people were using magic, they were using shapes. Like Renaissance magic was all about shapes, triangles within triangles, rectangles and stuff like that. So I can see where they got the inspiration. I just don't know if circles were that popular when it came to this magic. I just remember seeing a lot of these types of shapes when I was researching it myself, but I don't remember circles. I mostly remember triangles and rectangles and anything that has corners.
I can't believe I overlooked it.
The hot-tempered cryptography leader slams the table and buries his face into his hands, clearly exasperated.
This is not your fault, Ulrich. The gesture was overlooked because it did not really help the research. Our focus was on practical application rather than understanding the incantation itself. If the incantation means the first circle...
The pragmatist's voice is still serene.
How will this be helpful to the research?
It will if you speak with Kakania.
I see! I understand now!
You do? A moment of epiphany. She snatches a handful of paper, sprawls out on the floor, and scribbles frantically.
Well, Vertin, I don't know why you can read it, but I do know that Gal is thrilled by your interpretation. Because you mentioned her favourite shape, the circle.
The irrational number is spot on. 37 has drifted into a world of her own.
Yes. The essence of the incantation is a circle. But what kind of circle is it? In topology, any closed curve on a plane can be classified as a circle.
Aha! Told you!
Regulus spreads her hands, speechless. She takes a step back, giving 37 more room to calculate. Everyone is talking quietly, so as to not disturb her. Even Miss Radio has lowered her volume. Just as the sheets are about to engulf the entire floor, she finally stands up.
Look, Vertin, let's go back to the Rosetta Stone hypothesis. Based on the hypothesis, if the incantation and the numerical code share a common essence, which is the key to the storm immunity, and we now know the incantation refers to a circle,
then the essence of this numerical code should also be a circle, right?
37 nods.
Yes. Before this conversation, I had no idea which direction to take. The numerical code could be a snippet of an incantation, or it could be a geometrical ritual array. I had a lot of theories to go on, but testing them could take weeks or even months. Worse yet, if my line of thinking was completely wrong, we could waste decades of time and effort. But the Rosetta Stone hypothesis is easy to verify. Let us suppose that the incantation and numerical code share a similar essence. We know that the incantation does work as proven by the awakened. If the incantation is a circle, then the numerical code should also be circular in nature and has the same effect as the incantation, which is a circle that saves people from the emanation and can also be experimented with by the awakened.
If the experiment works, then the hypothesis is true. And vice versa. I see what you mean here. It really is an easily provable hypothesis.
To my ears, you're just trying to prove that the code means a circle. Because you're really into circles.
Not specifically. I simply like it because it's a great shape.
But I don't understand.
Let her cook. Then you will understand. She picks up the numerical code and studies it carefully.
+1, -1, +2, -3, 3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
You know, I might be crazy, but this whole idea makes me think that they should make a graph, put spots on them, and draw circles around these spots. Like sure, connecting them might not be giving us a circle because I don't have paper in front of me to try it out. But yeah, I'm just imagining that these are spots to connect and create a shape. Might be crazy, I don't know.
How do these numbers relate to the circle?
The first circle.
Enigma narrows his brows, spinning a pen between his fingers. His drafts are scattered across his desk, each of them a dead end.
Yes, it was the timekeeper who translated the incantation. And according to the investigator in Vienna, Arcana also drew a circle when she cast the ritual. But experiments have shown that the gesture has no effect on the ritual. We thought maybe it was a symbolic gesture.
No. It is no way just symbolic.
He jumps to his feet. The cryptographer sneezes at the cloud of dust he just stood up.
Arcanists excel at condensing their experiences into symbolic representations. Signs, totems, elements, these are primitive symbols, and some are sources of power for Arcanum. At least that's what the Foundation's textbooks tell me. That's why arcane skills can only be enhanced by mediums that align with their symbolic nature. Precise materials are required when creating soft discs for each incantation.
He stops spinning his pen.
If the incantation symbolizes the first circle, and if we were to create a physical form that could be mass-produced for everyone, will that form have to be a circle too?
In the cave, discussions and theories about the circle are also in full swing. Every inch of the floor is now covered with paper. On each sheet is a differently drawn circle. Some are spheres, some have crossings, some are in distorted forms. Just as the sea of paper is about to drown everyone in the room, she finally stands up.
Oh, I should have thought of this. The simplest things often hold the deepest meaning, as always. So, the first circle, what could it be? A wheel? A piece of rope? A pendulum?
37 shakes her head and kicks away some paper balls at her feet.
I spent too long on the wheel and the bearing, not realizing there was something more promising. A circle can also be seen as a knot with no crossings. An unknot. This could be a variation of a closed curve. A knot. Knots were how the ancients of the Incas and Chinese collected data and kept records.
Really? If anyone's Chinese and obviously has researched on this, Please let me know, otherwise I'll search it by myself anyway.
But which knot is it exactly?
37 extends her hand. Intricate geometric shapes take form in the radiance of her arcane light.
The Jones polynomial of the trefoil knot is t plus t cubed minus t to the power of 4. The figure 8 knot is t to the power of -2 minus t to the power of -1 plus 1 minus t plus t squared. While the cinquefoil knot, t squared plus t to the power of 4 minus t to the power of 5 plus t to the power of 6 minus t to the power of 7. I could go on all day. There are 165 different knots with 10 crossings. 9,988 knots with 13 crossings.
Goodness gracious, we'll never find the answer.
But which knot is the code referring to? +1, -1, +2, -3, +3, -3, +2, -1, +1.
Perhaps these are the powers though. Like, since every knot is made of t's, I'm guessing it's t to the power of 1, t to the pi. Oh wait. Maybe not, because then again, how are they connected? Is it a plus or a minus? Oh, perhaps it's t in the power of 1 minus 1 plus 2. Never mind, I don't have it. I thought I had it, but I don't. She stops.
Of course I would hear these digits instead of anything else. The scroll transcribes the truth into a format I can understand. So it must be based on a mathematical system I already know. I have all the knowledge needed to break the code. Just need to follow my instincts and pick a system. And the Jones polynomial is the first thing I could think of.
Struck by an idea, she drops to her knees and starts calculating again on the floor.
Right. The second 3 I heard sounded different from the other 3s. That 3 must be the constant term of the polynomial.
You guys, I bet you one of the writers of this game or producers of this game actually study mathematics. Like, seriously, I doubt that every creator of this game just happened to be an artist that decided to make a game based on their passion for art. I'm pretty sure many of these people probably finished different kinds of schools and perhaps didn't want to follow that line of work after getting their degrees and now put all their knowledge in this game, because this is crazy to me to be just something you've researched. For me, this is something you have probably studied. So unless there's 1 or 2 people in there who've actually studied mathematics, I'm guessing that they even hired somebody that knows how to mathematics to create that idea around the game. But yeah, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I cannot fathom, maybe because I hate math so much, I cannot fathom that somebody researched this and was able to create this kind of a pattern just by researching. I'm guessing this is somebody who's been educated on mathematics on a professional level.
Then if we use this 3 as the origin, like a number axis, the left side is the coefficient for the negative exponents, and the right side is the coefficients for the positive exponents.
Just in case you don't understand what she's saying, it's fine. I don't either. I'm just going with the flow.
Eureka! This string of coefficients is the shorthand of a Jones polynomial. If we assign the 8 coefficients to the 8 corresponding exponents in a Jones polynomial, we get its true form. T to the power of -4 minus t to the power...
There's no way I'm gonna wait for her to say all that, I'm sorry. She looks up, her bright aquamarine eyes shine with delight. A golden nod projects from her fingertips. Perhaps you shouldn't be showing that to them.
See, Vertin, Apiron did give us the answer. The key we've been looking for, the most profound secret, the language of the divine. No sound or text is needed, just pure structure, the very form of the essence itself. It is a beautiful shape, a simple knot.
A knot? Great. Now there is only one step left. The verification.
She nods and looks at the communicator.
Did you hear that, Madame Lucy? Can you help us verify the authenticity of this knot?
After an unsettling silence, Miss Radio finally remembers that she has turned down the volume. When she turns it back on, Lucy's voice comes through clearly over the channel.
Of course. I have paid close attention to the discussion. This polynomial produces a single unique knot. We can now tie a knot to test it.
The call goes silent again. The cave is silent too, as if any noise would alter the outcome. Even Regulus has turned off her personal speakers. In the quiet hush, Miss Radio cranks up the volume once more, but all they hear is a sharp hiss of static and a soft, strange rustling. 20 minutes have passed.
Madam Lucy?
The only sound is a constant static, accompanied by a faint, scratchy reverberation.
Is the signal dropping?
I doubt it. Something is going on.
Madam Lucy, can you hear us?
Oh goodness, again. So whether you use the words or create such knot, it still takes from you.
I can.
The robot utters with effort. The knot slips from her grip and falls. It has completed its great mission. Then the robot starts to fall apart and melt. Before the curse could get to her core, the fire thief flashes a smile. She needs to ensure the next message is clear on the radio.
It worked.
Brother, I don't understand. How by making a knot, you're cursing yourself? The ritual core is officially complete. Thank you, everyone. The ritual core is complete. We have successfully overcome all the challenges we faced, and all that remains is assembly and mass production. Our research on the storm has come to a successful conclusion. We're also collecting names for the ritual core. If you're interested, please feel free to submit your suggestions. Below are examples of the suggestions we've collected. 37, Lucy Knot. Absolute Universal R-Power Storm Immunity Device. Laplace's Knot, uncool. 1914 Knot, wrong time. The knot, it has such a nice ring to it. Part 26. Mirror and curtains. A mirror, a raised Zerine green, and hands reaching into nothingness.
I never thought it would be the Timekeeper and the Apeiron Arcanus who'd solve the problem. But now even humans can cast this ritual.
Laplace is now in a rare state of tranquility, for the researchers have done all they can. There's nothing left for them to do. With only 4 hours to go, this is the final calm before the storm.
Indeed. The knot is the physical form of the ritual we were looking for. Surprisingly, the numerical code yielded practical results. I thought it was necessary to report this to the Timekeeper's organization. It was her contribution, but it did not go well.
Forgive the interruption. What's a knot?
I will be glad to answer your question. Knot theory is a branch of algebraic topology. In mathematics, a knot refers to a connected closed curve in three-dimensional Euclidean space that does not intersect itself. They can also be described as shapes in three-dimensional space that are homeomorphic to circles. Knot theory focuses on the entanglement and configurations of closed curves in three-dimensional space, rather than the curves themselves. Since all closed curves are homeomorphic to circles, they can all be topologically categorized as circles.
I see.
A knot equivalent to a two-dimensional circle is called an unknot, and...
I don't mean to question Laplace's expertise, but this approach may not be the best solution for widespread implementation. The concepts are complex even for us, let alone others. We can't expect to give an advanced math lesson to every individual under these circumstances. Doing math before the storm. Nobody's got time for that.
As it turned out, presenting a technical report was much too premature. We should have a complete and official report once the immunity gear is produced.
Maybe you can change your approach the next time you report to the Foundation.
The robot shakes her head, disappointed by the failure of her report and the listeners' math level.
I simply gave them honest answers.
She turns her head and looks thoughtfully out the window.
But this solution is deserving of widespread implementation. All we need is a piece of rope and tie it end to end, and spend 3 to 5 minutes to make this knot. This can be done anywhere, at any time, by anyone using any type of cordage.
But there's something I don't understand. She made the knot herself, alright? She tried making the knot based on what 37 told her, and it still cursed her. So why are they trying to make this a widespread thing that people can make this knot if she herself has failed? Am I forgetting something because I haven't played for a few days? Isn't that supposed to be dangerous as well?
The oldest, fastest, and most basic ritual, the key to braving the storm, is a knot.
Why didn't you tell the House of Integratus? I'm sure they would have funded us generously.
I will make sure to put it in my interdepartmental report.
A rare hint of frustration flickers across her face, but she quickly moves onto a subject that deserves her attention.
But at this point in time, the knot only functions like an incantation. It is not suitable for widespread use until the research on the side effects and the converter are complete.
In any case, I've completed all the tasks you assigned me. My last plea is, please never put Ulrich and I on the same team again.
The researcher lets out a deep yawn, feeling as if he hasn't slept in ages. Maybe he can catch a quick nap before the final battle begins. To have the peace of mind to go to sleep before such a stressful situation, it's a blessing. That's what I'm telling you. Because even in less stressful situations, like in smaller issues we have around the world, my ass can keep my eyes closed for 1 hour straight without waking up every few minutes to check the time. And it's not just waking to check the time, it's that I wake up, so I check the time to see how much time I have to keep resting before the stressful event comes. You know? Enigma, please share your nonchalance.
I'm surprised that you're not in the lab. Something bothering you? Wait, don't tell me you're charging here.
The robot turns to him, an approving smile on her face. Let the woman recharge.
Excellent job, Researcher Adler. You have proven that you are keeping the locations of public outlets in Laplace in mind, which is a positive sign for your resocialization.
I can't.
I am powering up to reach my optimal condition, preparing for what is to come. The Scroll of Apeiron, the final piece of the puzzle. The key to minimizing any negative effects caused by the incantation.
Ah! Yeah, I forgot the scroll. So the knot is not going to be deadly if they use the scroll. Yeah, it makes sense now. I'm sorry, I had forgotten.
Wow! The designers on artificial somnambulism could use some of this inspiration. Look at the clouds, painted with a syndrome of colors and interrupted by a glorious streak of rainbow. It's truly a masterpiece.
The red blur streaks forward at lightning speed, but the Olithiaus are still in hot pursuit. Their skins are becoming increasingly vibrant due to the storm syndrome.
Funny. They're flying towards the headquarters out of instinct. Maybe they can sense immunity zones. These little beasts would make for a good study, but I'm not in the mood to take any prisoners.
Lily speeds up again, trying to lose the pursuers that are swarming behind her like a dark vortex. In front of her, under the clouds, the grey buildings of the Foundations are now clearly visible.
Fuel and ammunition are running out.
Her altitude is low enough, she can almost see the hallway outside the committee room.
Huh. Maybe I should storm the Vice President's office with them. But other people might get hurt there. Never mind.
God damn it, that would have been so much fun. She makes an abrupt turn, her mind racing with ideas.
Dive into the lake? But the splash might wet the scroll. Wait, isn't that?
Sprouts from the forest that looks like a signal to land.
Miss Lilia, this way.
Ha! Good timing.
A friend's presence has given her a clear sense of direction. Without a second thought, she charges into the new forest with a huge herd in hot pursuit. Just before crashing into the trees, Red 38 changes course and rockets upwards in a perfectly straight line. But the creatures behind her have no such finesse. One by one, they slam into the mesh woven by the dense tangle of trees and vines.
Enemies intercepted. Ally landed successfully. Miss Travis, the Elitiaus are all ensnared in vines.
The druid closes her eyes, savoring the fresh air.
The winds of triumph sweep through the woods. An excellent flight, Miss Lilia. We will take it from here. Come, everyone. We shall vanquish our foes with the aid of the woods.
Okay, time to fight. I'll be right back.
The Special Operations Squad is ready to go.
Baby girl!
Dr. Kakanya, are you really going to stay here?
She shakes her head, her fingers tight on Marcus's communicator. For more than 10 hours, she has been waiting for Laplace to respond. Marcus lowers her eyes, burying her face in her scarf to hide the tears. The doctor quickly notices it, her voice softens and changes to a lighter tone.
Don't worry about me, young missy. This won't be goodbye forever. Besides, I have already provided all the help I can, right? I made Isolde show us the ritual and kept her under control, and now you've figured out how the ritual works. To test its results, you will need a couple of volunteers.
But Marcus doesn't seem to find comfort in her words.
But you heard the report from Laplace. The possibility of surviving the ritual is nearly zero without the converter and the scroll and...
Nearly, they said. But not surely.
The doctor interjects briskly.
Plus, where else can I go?
Come with us, girl. What do you mean you don't know where to go?
I was born and raised in this city. This is where I came from, where I lived and where I belong. This is my whole world.
Girl, if all people thought like you, we'd never even know how to travel to other places.
I despised the maggots under its golden surface, and fought for the justice and fairness in our society. But I also cherish every detail of this city, from the intricate carvings on the theater columns to the dirt trodden by dockworkers.
None of this will exist after the storm. You're wasting your time.
All of these things made me me. My family, my friends, my people, and my operas and culture are all here. I never once thought about leaving this place. I have never thought about destroying it either.
She looks up and sighs sentimentally.
Being washed away with it would be a just punishment for all my sins.
You just said it's not goodbye, and now you say this bullshit? Yet her eyes are free of darkness and despair. Marcus can clearly see her determination.
I wish I could be as brave as you are. See you, Miss Clara.
She gently reaches out to her. Not far away, the Special Operations Squad is ready to go. The helicopter begins to whirl, its last errand of the day. Inside the cabin, Isolde sits between two razor operatives, her wrists bound in cuffs.
Hurry, ladies, before any of us turns into one of those exquisite paintings. Sorry, but the headquarters is too far for the teleportation disk from here. You'll have to bear with us smelly old grunts for a little longer.
It is time to part ways.
Goodbye, Miss Marcus. Sharing this era with you has been an honor.
Their warm hands clasp in a powerful handshake. With a wave to the teary-eyed girl, Kakanya turns around and heads toward the City of Madness.
Is your birthday approaching, Doctor?
She twirls sharply around at the entranced voice. Isolde reaches out into the air, still in a dream she's unwilling to wake up from. There, the world is unchanged, and each day is filled with bliss. For a prisoner in the Foundation's facility, perhaps dreams will provide the solace she needs.
I made this for you.
She holds out a brooch, a piece so exquisite that it too seems to be an intangible figment of a wistful dream. The golden setting nestles the sparkling gem in place, a gift undoubtedly made with great affection.
Turquoise and topaz, just like you and your eyes.
Please accept my blessings, Doctor. May your life be filled with joy and contentment, and may your courage guide you through all that comes your way. You are worthy of all the beauty and goodness this world has to offer, and I will hold you in my heart and in my prayers forever.
Today is Nkakani's birthday, nor can she see her reflection in Isolde's lustreless eyes. The Star of Vienna holds up the brooch, yearning at the emptiness before her. If one were to die today, what would she say to her longtime friend?
Süße Träume, Frau Dittersdorf.
She takes the brooch and pins it to her jacket. The communicator at her waist crackles. A ray of hope shines through the static.
Madame Lucy, any progress on the research?